Hey Chainsaw Freaks, this is part 4. We are going to do the back end now. Just put this whole handle assembly on and the cover, and just tidy up that, maybe get the covers on, and then I'll work on the flywheel and then probably the clutch, just to show you, running you through all that. So I'll just dig out the box, the handle, and along with that we'll do that choke lever as well too. I'll show you all that, how that goes on. The handle just goes on here, and you have your your throttle lever that goes on, and it's got a small end and a big end. So that small end goes up into the carburetor this side, like that. Actually, I think it goes, yeah, hooks in behind. Yeah, hooks in behind like that. You see that? And then it hooks through your handle, rear handle, like that. And then you've got a series of bolts that are all T27 Torx again, and they will go down into here. Is that going down? Yes, it is. That's found away. And this one takes a bit of sort of jigging around. You sort of just got to push that throttle lever aside a little bit. Yep, I just wiggle it like that, and then you get down past, and that'll line you up there. Now before I put those home, I like to line up the holes that are on the rear of the trigger in there, one either side. Okay, so I'm just going to put some of these nuts in there, nuts, screws, T27 Torx screws. So I just put them in the back of there, so I know that I've got everything in holes before I drive it all home. So that's one on that side, and one on this side. Don't know if you can see me. You probably can't see me doing this at all. It's a bit hard to show you me putting those back ones in, because they're tricky. You kind of got to get the handle off the back of the bench, and then so you got your Torx hand out the back so you can spin it, bring tension to them. So I've just tensioned those back ones up now. Alright, they're all tensioned, and then I go back into here and just wind these ones down. Now that I've got it all lined up. If this doesn't take too long, I'll move on to the flywheel and clutch, and maybe do a running video of this. Probably won't do a first start, because those can be tricky, plagued with problems and all sorts of things. So if I have any of those problems off camera, I'll talk to you about it, but I'll do a running video of this when it's going anyway. Talk to you about those problems just so you can see what I've had to come through or get past. So that's in there now, and you've got your wire hanging there, and that just needs to be put up into your, so I just use my pliers and just reach back there with that, pliers and fingers and all sorts of things, and just reach back into there, to get it up into there. It's tricky. I probably should have done it when I first put the handle on, but I didn't, so I'll do it the tricky way. Sitting in there now. It's been playing fun and game stuff. Yeah, it's being tricky. It's being real tricky. So drop the pliers, get the fingers in there sometimes, have to. Yeah, should have done this when I had the handle off. You might. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now you get to watch me fiddle around with this. I'm just going to rip the bottom of that bit off because it's split anyway. That's not doing anything. Right, that's in there. That goes up in there. That is really loose now. That is really loose. We'll just see how that goes. I mean, worst comes to worst, you can always choke it off anyway. Or we'll get a new switch or something like that for it. We'll see what Steve wants to do with that. Yeah. Sure why that's so loose. I wonder if I can just crimp it on there or something. Right. I'll just do that, move that down there. Not playing ball, it's still really loose. So I'll just put that grommet back up on there. And just have to have a look at that later. Another time, but it's that's your switch on off. Right. Sorry, probably did most of that off camera. So here can be a fun bit. Here can be a fun bit. There's two things that need to happen when you put this part on, and one is the spark plug lead needs to go up through it, and this this choke lever needs to go in. So the choke lever just goes in the bottom like that, and just slides around and just clips onto that little part there, so it can move in and out. And just pull it back to out to choke, and you put it on. Swing this part down and put it through here. So once this is on there, that just that choke lever just sits in front of this lever and just pushes it forward, basically. So you just got to sit that on there and make sure that lever is forward underneath there of the choke lever when you're putting it down. So that's that, pretty easy. And then it's got 3 screws, three you can just put straight on. 2 on the top here. Just put this bottom one down first, because sometimes that choke gets a bit funny on it and jumps out. So we'll just put that one in now. Down it goes. before I tighten that right off though. That's just to secure that choke lever. Sorry, I stopped the video. Had the inside for lunch. The in-laws came over and had a yarn with them and stuff like that. So I'm not sure exactly where I was up to before, but I think it was somewhere here. Just for putting these covers on. Okay, let's just go down there like that. Too easy, and then just tighten off this last one. And that's tightened off, and then your choke lever is all good. And then there's got a hole in there in the back by the choke lever. That's your LA adjustment in there. And your low idle, or whatever you call it. I don't know really what to call it, but then that's just, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to put that up in there. Actually fits up in there. Am I going to worry about it? Probably won't. Probably won't. That'll be fine like that. That'll be absolutely fine like that. It won't interfere with anything. It's all held in there. So then you can put your air filter on. This is what the air filter looks like. That just goes on there like that. That hole there. All slides on. Helps hold that lead in place as well too. And then you've just got your top cover. Just give this a bit of a wipe. That's been sitting for a little bit. This project's been waiting to happen. I've had so many other saws to do, and just rebuilt. I mean, you probably saw my video maybe of my 020 that I did up. That wasn't bolt for bolt, but I just recently rebuilt a 192T. And yeah, sorry, I just got interrupted again. So starting again, I think I was talking about, oh yes, that's right, did a 192T, fully rebuilt that, so they're not like a pro saw, they don't have the aluminium, the magnesium cases and stuff like that. They just have like a clam shell, so the engine's all in one little bit like that, and it fits inside a plastic case. Really easy to build. I did that in about 3 hours, I think it took me. That was from tearing it down. And I did another MS200. It's not a T though, it had a rear handle on it. You can get a rear handle, I think they called it MS200R or something, because they got a rear handle, not the top handle. It's just a slight, that's the only change. It's just like building a 200T. So I did that as well. Really easy. Fixed a trigger on an MS200T as well, and found that it had a broken AV mount, so I fixed that. I swapped it out with the parts saw that I've got. And yeah, so really easy cruisy, easy peasy stuff. But yeah, so anyway, we'll just I'm just going to put this saw on its side now, and we'll just go in and put this flywheel on. So flywheel just goes in there like that, and I just line it up with the key. You can see the keyway in there, so I'll just line it up with that. Pretty sure that's where it is. Just see it down there. Yep, so I'm really happy with that going down there like that. One thing you can do to these is once you've got them in a place like that, you can just give them a little tap with a hammer. before you put them on, and just so you know that it's going to stay up. I'll just use a socket for that. It's probably not the best thing to use when you've got limited tools like I do. It's just what you use, and then goes that little collar on there, and the bolt for it. And I'll just rattle gun that on now. It's pretty noisy with the compressor going and stuff like that for me to do that kind of thing, so I'll probably just do that off cam, but basically I just rattle gun that on, and that's that side done. I'll come back to you when I'm putting the starter cover on. See you in a bit. Hey guys, I'm back. So got the starter cover all ready to go on, so that's all been rattle gun down now. That's on there, that's not coming off as far as I can see. So the starter cover just goes on there like that, and there's just a few screws for that. So I'll just put that down like so. There's my T27 Torx. They just go down with the Torx screws, just like so. I just like to put them through to just line them all up. Once again, you can put them down to they're just about tight, but you know, just leave them back off. That one into there. And that's the 4 screws going in there, like that. Now, these are not Elastostart, these starters. You don't have the elastic in here, in this bit. So, yeah, if it decides to kick back, you will know about it, especially being a large capacity engine like this. This is bigger than the Stihl 880s. So yeah, will be interesting starting it up, that's for sure. Basically, I'm just going to fill it full of fuel, make sure that carb is running heaps of fuel through. And yeah, hope for the best. Hope I don't get too much kickback. There's the last screw to go in, is just down here, goes in here. It just holds the handlebar onto the flywheel side there. So I'll just put that through. Just check that it's going to line up actually. Yeah, it's not really playing ball, that. Let's try and do it. Sorry. Wow. It doesn't want to even look like that. It's going to go in there. How did I do it last time? How did I do it last time? Sorry, just trying to figure this out. It's one of those pieces that you know it goes in there. Oh, that's right. I just pulled the handle out. That's what I did. You just put pressure on the handle out. You pull the handle out like that, and it just all folds in around there. The trouble is, it's tricky to do. This may have even been one of the most trickiest bits on this saw. Just to pull it out. Sorry, you can't even see. Maybe turn it this way. Trying to do all sorts of things here. Maybe I stuck something down there to lever it out or something like that. Maybe it's my big screwdrivers. Oh, crash bang. So I might have done something like this just to hold it out. Because it doesn't want to go in there. Sorry guys, I can't even see what I'm doing. Might have to stop this, put this on. You know it goes in there anyway. I might have to stop this video, put it on, and then get onto the flywheel, get onto the clutch for you. See you guys soon. Oh, I am back. So, need to go to work on this clutch side now. Got that piece in there. It's just sort of remembering how this clutch side goes now. I just want to make sure the fuel's not leaking out of there. I don't think it is. I'm just going to put something underneath there to prop that up a bit. I just want it, yeah, just resting like that. So there you go, you can see what I'm up to. So the clutch is in two pieces like this. It's got a tapered little collar in there as well too. And this just needs to go back in there. It sort of came off when it always comes off when I take it apart, and then it's difficult because I have to put it all back in, and that can be frustrating. Sometimes I just I'm just gently tapping this. It sounds loud, but it's just needs a gentle tap just to get those springs apart a bit. Alright, and so that fits in there like that. That's just a gentle tap, guys. You're not thrashing anything. You don't really need to thrash anything. If you're thrashing something on a saw, you're doing it wrong, really. It has a needle cage in there, and that is all greased up. And that is the sprocket drum there. Sprocket clutch drum. And so on this side, how does it all go? How does it all go? I'm trying to remember vague memories. Right. So I think this is the piece that sits against the seals, and that just slides. No, it's not. It's telling me it's not. This is the piece that sits against the seals, and that just goes in there like that. See, it's got a sort of a cup, so I just put it down to that side there, just to fit over that seal. That just goes against there, it protects that seal, and then next goes the clutch with the needle cage on. That all fits in there. Sorry, it's not the clutch, it's the sprocket drum. And then in there goes the another spacer. That goes on there. And then the clutch goes on. So the assembly on this is fairly easy, fairly straightforward. That just popped out of there. And then you've got another washer that sits against that there. And then this all fits inside there like that. Okay, so pretty easy, pretty straightforward. And then left hand thread, just like your normal clutches and stuff like that, onto it. And I'll just turn the compressor off, but it's full of air, so I'll just rattle the gun that on there for you. I think it is a 17. 17? Yes, it is a 17 millimeter sprocket, socket sprocket. Got all sorts of things going on here. Putting too many things in my hands at once. So that goes on there. I'll just plug this in, and it's set to the left hand, and we'll just, that's on there now. And that is it. This is all complete. It gets this cover panel on. I probably won't put it on for starting it because it can rattle off. And then the nuts go on like that. So I might do a finish off of this part 3, including the startup of it. But it'll probably be when it's warm. And I know I've got it tuned and going, because otherwise I'm just going to end up fiddling around for ages. You guys will just get frustrated with it. Well, maybe you will, maybe you won't, I don't know. Anyway. So that is it. That is the 090 officially rebuilt. And yes, it still says MS460 on top. But it's not. It's a sleeper now. It says one thing, but it does far much more. Right. Until the startup video, we will see you a bit later. Right, there you go guys, it is running, it is going. You've seen the rebuild now. There it is. It's going really well. I'm happy with it. Awesome. I just have to tune it properly now with the bar on and see how she goes. Apart from that, Stihl for life.